Let's go! Over the past few days, Bitcoin has not only broken its old high, but has also been pushing closer and closer to the $50,000 level. If you have been watching my videos for a while, then you know I like to talk about how big of a factor FOMO, or fear of missing out, can be in Bitcoin's price and adoption. This week, we have begun to see a serious amount of that FOMO among massive, well-known companies such as Tesla, Mastercard, and many others. In this video, I will be covering these companies' plans for Bitcoin and which companies could be next to either add Bitcoin to their balance sheet or accept it as a payment method. Of course, we have to start with Tesla. The rumors that Tesla would be adding Bitcoin to its balance sheet has been around for a while. However, they really started taking off back in late December when Michael Saylor and Musk had this interaction on Twitter. After Musk posted a meme about Bitcoin, Saylor recommended that Musk convert the $100 billion on Tesla's balance sheet into Bitcoin. Musk then replied, asking if transactions that large would even be possible. It is also worth noting that, as I have said before, Saylor mentioned that if Musk did add Bitcoin to Tesla's balance sheet, other companies in the S&P 500 would follow their example and Bitcoin would become a $1 trillion asset. That was the end of the conversation on Twitter, but apparently communication continued in private, that is the rumors. Representatives from Tesla were also spotted at Saylor's recent conference Bitcoin for Corporations, and a few days ago the news broke that Tesla had converted $1.5 billion of their cash into Bitcoin. That is of course extremely bullish, not only because Tesla is a very large company, but because it is one of the most prominent and widely discussed companies as well. When MicroStrategy and Square bought Bitcoin, it made headlines, but MicroStrategy is not really a company that was routinely discussed, at least before their Bitcoin purchase. Tesla, on the other hand, has been in the headlines consistently for a long time now, so its decision to buy Bitcoin is being talked about not only by investor-focused news sources such as CNBC, but on mainstream news as well as by individuals across the globe. This will continue to increase awareness of adoption and add to its credibility as a store of value and investment in general. And Tesla buying Bitcoin would have been bullish on its own, but the company also announced that they will begin accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment to buy actual Tesla vehicles in the near future. This was something that had not really been anticipated by anyone, but was a welcome surprise. Over the past year or so, Bitcoin has really gained traction as a store of value, but this could help to bring its use as a payment method back into the spotlight as well. And soon after the Tesla news broke, even more bullish news came when Mastercard announced that it is planning to give merchants the option to accept payments in cryptocurrency later this year. It is important to note that they did not say Bitcoin, but rather cryptocurrency in general, which could mean that they are planning to support a variety of cryptos. This is great news for adoption, as Mastercard is one of the largest financial services corporations in the world. In December, Visa announced that they were partnering with the company behind USDC stablecoin, so this announcement could be an attempt by Mastercard to show that they are staying competitive on the crypto adoption front. Regardless of why they decided to take this step into the world of crypto, it is likely that other payment processing and financial services companies will start following the example of Visa and Mastercard as well, so the dominoes are falling one after each other. Just yesterday, yet another well-known company announced their intentions to integrate crypto, and that is the Bank of New York Mellon. BNY Mellon is the world's largest custodian bank and has $41 trillion held in it. On the 11th, they publicly announced that they will be rolling out a digital custody unit later this year. Of course, the primary digital assets that people are interested in are cryptocurrencies. And in an interview, the head of advanced solutions at Mellon said that the assets that these services will handle will be decided by client interest and demand. It is very likely that they will begin by offering services for Bitcoin and Ethereum before branching out into other cryptos. He also said during the interview that while Mellon is starting out with custody services, it is possible that they could expand those services in the future to include other offerings. Up next is something not directly related to Bitcoin, but still bullish for crypto in general, and that is that Amazon is launching a digital currency project in Mexico. There are not a lot of details about the project, as Amazon has not officially announced it yet, but people discovered the project through a series of job listings posted by Amazon, stating that they were looking for developers at all levels to assist in the launch of the currency project. From the details of those job listings, it was also discerned that the digital currency may be specifically for use in emerging economies. Moving on, the chief financial officer of Twitter, Ned Segal, announced that Twitter is considering adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet and that they are also looking at payment options for Bitcoin. This is not a huge surprise, as the CEO of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, already bought Bitcoin and integrated crypto at the other company he is CEO of, which is Square. Because Dorsey has done it before, he is already familiar with the process as well as the benefits. So it really would not be a stretch to see him do the same with Twitter at some point in the future. Also remember, he has one word in his bio on Twitter, which is Bitcoin. While there has been no announcement or comments from Apple themselves, a recent report from the brokerage firm RBC Capital Markets has outlined how Apple could benefit from moving into crypto, and they lay out a very convincing argument. Not only does the report suggest that Apple could benefit from adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets like the other companies have been doing, but more specifically that Apple could become a major player in crypto by creating an exchange. The analyst who wrote the report believes this because competition in the centralized crypto exchange space is pretty light, especially in the US, where users are limited in their choices and have to undergo a lot of KYC and only are allowed to trade certain crypto markets. Many US exchanges such as Coinbase are also known to go down anytime there is significant volatility in the markets. They figured that with Apple's tech experience, they could easily create a competitive exchange that stayed up, performed well, and solved some KYC issues by only transferring crypto ownership between customers. It really would not be a big stretch for Apple to step into crypto, as they have made a lot of moves in the financial sector already with Apple Pay and the Apple credit card. The report also suggested that Apple could fully fund the development of the project by simply buying Bitcoin. If they spend about a month of their cash flow, $5 billion, on Bitcoin, then the price would only need to move upwards to 10% to reward Apple with the estimated $500 million needed for development. Again, this report did not come from Apple themselves, but the information and strategy that it lays out would make a lot of sense for Apple to actually employ. You may remember that in a previous video I mentioned that the mayor of the city of Miami, Florida, was interested in allocating a portion of the city's treasury funds into Bitcoin. Well, Mayor Suarez has continued looking into Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies and recently proposed a resolution that would allow workers to receive all or part of their salary in Bitcoin. The resolution also included a proposal to allow Miami residents to pay their property tax or city fees in Bitcoin. In that previous video, I had mentioned that if Miami were to buy Bitcoin, then other cities will follow their example and do the same. Well, Andrew Yang, the primary candidate running for mayor of New York, has announced that if elected, one of his goals would be to turn New York into a hub for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. As he mentioned, New York is already a very popular city for financial institutions and companies. What Yang may be getting at is that if the city wants to remain that way, it will need to move forward with crypto adoption. After all, crypto is the future of finance. So, all of the companies integrating or purchasing Bitcoin are making a very public statement that they believe in Bitcoin in the long term and are setting an example for other companies to follow. Jim Cramer, a former hedge fund manager and host of Mad Money on CNBC, put it this way: "At this point, it is almost irresponsible for companies not to own Bitcoin." Cramer stated that not only is Bitcoin a hedge against inflation, but also against equity portfolios and fiat currencies in general. At this point, with companies such as Tesla buying Bitcoin, there is no longer the same stigma around it as there used to be. Companies do not need to worry as much that they will be looked down on or judged for putting funds into Bitcoin. On the other side of things, more US dollars are being printed than ever before, so companies are left with a simple choice: be the best or buy the best store of value asset in the world, or hold into cash that will only ever decrease in purchasing power. It is an easy decision, and more companies are starting to realize that. Guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you did, and I will see you. You can watch the video popping up in the middle of this video right now, actually. We're talking about Cardano going to the moon. So make sure to watch that, and I will see you right there.